always rely on?
Yeah, what I like about Mr. Tan's teaching is that he emphasises his points and he provides us with a lot of resources, and he's passionate about teaching.
Yeah, I also like how he provides a lot of resources, and he's like always there for feedback when you need him, and he shows complete emphasis on like keywords and using them and showing you how to like use them in your responses.
I'll be short in saying he's made a relatively dry and kind of boring subject like decently engaging. So that's what I'd say, how he's been helpful.
No, the teacher really opens up like that, and it's good because he treats us like equally, not like little boys. And
Heinz is saying. I'd say he's been helpful in more than the area of business studies, but along with what Mac has said, he's made a very boring subject very interesting. But he's just helped around with boarding and just make everything sort of interesting. When we've been given something, when there's nothing to do, he's just given us something to do. It's been really good.
Oh yeah, Mr. Tan's a legend. Last year, I think, we didn't have a bus driver. We had to get out to Maroubra like twice a week, and he filled in and drove us out there.
Yeah, he makes the subject really easy to understand and really good life lessons too.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah.
And he's a teacher that I can go to anything about. I can ask him any question any time of the day, and he's there to help. I've sent him emails on Saturday nights, Friday mornings, stressed out before trials, before pre-trials, and he's there to give me resources and help and tips to get me the best possible mark in business studies. With rankings and like scalings, he's all has that on a spreadsheet, and he's there to show you where you are and where you should be. He compares you to this year and that year, and he's a teacher that, unlike other teachers, does that stuff without being asked to do it. Me and my father have had personal contact with Mr. Tan for the past year, just so I can progress my business studies and get the best possible mark. And he's always open to having a discussion with parents and seeing if there's anything they can do to help, or if anything he can do to help. And I don't think I would be able to achieve the marks I do in business studies without him.
Mr. Tan's he's pretty understanding of how people struggle with different things. He's helped me with a couple.
Relating to boys, no other teacher can really do that well. You understand us. No other teacher really understands without getting angry. Like, for example, rowing. When we were tired, we'd come in, you'd let us just chill out, and every other teacher would get angry. If we'd had work that wasn't in on time, you'd help us out with it a bit. And you have the ability to relate to us in the way that you can get across the content really in a simple manner. And other teachers just talk like blabber, and no one has any idea what they're going on about. So it's good that you do that. Maxi.
My turn?
Yeah.
I've known Mr. Tan, or Chris, since year 11 business studies, and just on what Heinz said, he's a good bloke. Really understand the boys. Like, I know I've missed quite a lot of class due to skiing commitments, and he's been all good about it. Hasn't been any trouble, and understanding. I guess because he's probably been in that position himself, and in class he just makes stuff simple and easy to understand, and just makes it relate to us in a way that we won't forget it. So come exam time, we'll know what we're doing.
He's taught us in a way which it's easy to relate to by putting in certain tables, so it's easy to remember the syllabus, and like he's organised it so it's structured, and he's got a very structured, he's thought through his approach to teaching us, and he's put a lot of effort into it obviously, and it's really worked off. It's really helpful in learning it.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, and so he's been involved in boarding when I was younger, and also with business studies in year 11 and 12. For me, probably he's contributed, his biggest influence has probably been for me before, not so much the business studies, which has still been a pretty big contributor, but self-organisation, the importance of organisation. I had a pretty hefty workload, especially in year 11, and I picked up business studies without doing commerce. So I was learning a whole new topic and what the topic demanded, as well as being new to rowing, and it was a pretty full-on experience. And I wasn't quite ready for that, and I think Mr. Tan, especially with business studies, and more so than other teachers, understood the commitment that was involved and understood how to help me handle it and what I needed. And a lot of times what I needed before I realised it, which was handy.
I think Mr. Tan's really taught me how to answer short answer questions really well, especially with like putting the key word first and then explain it. Like that's helped me go well in all of that.
No, the short answers and multiple choice. Just looking for the keywords, keeping it simple, not overcomplicating it. That's probably the good things.
And also I reckon we don't I remember year 10 commerce, I was like weighing up whether to do business or not because of all the notes we had to write in commerce with Mr. Tan, but then especially in year 12 we haven't had to write that many notes because he's had alternative ways of going about things.
Keeping it concise, keeping it simple, keeping it sweet, that's all you need.
It's been pretty good.
Fun times though. Most classes are generally fun and interesting because Tan's a very creative teacher. I'd say he makes most classes interesting and engaging. He captures our attention, and he's not just giving you the standard syllabus. He's pulling out examples that
you've got to know your syllabus
that are memorable, that you actually will be able to use and that are useful as well. So he's got a way that you really learn it, not just.
There's also good strategies to answer questions like peel. Oh no, peel. Yeah.
And also like the business report, everything. How to answer questions.
I thought an interesting innovation was the puzzle system for the old syllabus. I remember he got me doing that one period 6, probably this period a few weeks ago. And it's just little things like that, I guess, that just help with the process.
The keywords are pretty good.
And he also thinks about business studies. I don't know. He makes he certainly made me a lot more confident about the subject compared to other subjects where you feel more worried about the HSC, and you feel what do you call it? You're not prepared enough. Whereas in business studies, you feel it's very comfortable. You know what's happening. You know what you have to do and all that. It's very
you've got to motivate him before an exam.
Yeah. So it's just I think it's a lot better how he makes things seem. He calls it a game as well, which is true. And if you take that approach, then it just makes you work harder really, and see that if you work harder you'll get higher marks, and it's really as simple as that. So
and certain techniques that he's taught us as well, they really do help with other exams. So certain subjects you sort of sit there and you'd be like, well, how do I answer this question? But he's taught us, I don't know if it's with you guys as well, but certain techniques is underlining, getting out the keywords and stuff like that. It really helps with other subjects, and you can apply it to any subject really.
I am a rower. Back in the junior years of rowing, year 7 to 8, Mr. Tan helped us with training in the mornings, about 2 morning sessions. He helped us doing land training, lots of fitness, lots of body weight exercises, which is great. I definitely saw the benefits and put me in those higher crews which I needed to be in.
Alright, so in Year 12 I asked Mr. Tan to be my mentor, just to look out for for me during the HSC, and kind of just help me organise my life with all my sporting commitments, my school commitments as well. And he's been really good. He we sat down and kind of mapped out a couple of steps of what path I want to take, and he also helped me in terms of mapping out my schedule for cricket, my schedule for school, trying to get the best support group around me. yeah, it was really good. You know, I really enjoyed it, and he helped me a lot, and he made me become more organised and, you know, understand, you know, the steps to go about, you know, achieving, you know, a career in business and also, you know, cricket, and, you know, what the best steps were for me at that time. And but yeah, he's really good. You know, I could email him whenever and, you know, ask him for help, and, you know, he'd always respond with, you know, a different way or a different solution to the problem. And yeah, he's really good, and you know, I really enjoyed him being my mentor, and, you know, I really appreciate all the work he did for me, and, you know, it took a lot of pressure off my plate, and yeah, so thank you very much.
Maybe making sure my desk is neat and tidy, and and making sure my notes were organised and structured. That was more his focus with me than rather me knowing the topics as much. He wanted me to know to structure it well enough, so that he thought if I structured it well enough and could or be organised enough, then that would help me probably more than just laboriously going over everything, which it has a lot, especially if you compare it to other subjects.
He makes it pretty simple. Definitely for business studies, it's a pretty simple subject, I think you'd say. So for every topic, he puts an outline, and we can. I think that's easy because it gives you like a visual perspective of the whole topic, which is, I guess it makes it a lot easier. Or would you say?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think it makes things simple, syllabus based, and obviously knowing your syllabus is going to get you quite a few marks, and
especially for business studies.
Yeah, very easy. So that's what we are.
Definitely as well with this teaching. I don't know. It's pretty helpful. I think I'd say our class is pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
In terms of the way he conducts it, but I think that's kind of beneficial, especially with business studies. Yeah. Like we'll for a topic, we'll basically write. It's not really writing down notes because we'll do that at the start, and then we'll go in and we'll do past papers and questions. And I think it's pretty helpful for business studies.
Yeah, and in class, everyone always knows what to do. There's always something to do, whether it's a past paper or learning your syllabus. So it's pretty good, pretty easy.
I reckon, he understands, a lot of teachers say they do, but I think more so Mr. Tan understands that people have a different style of learning. And in his way of teaching, he provides different types of teaching, and allows you to mould your own way of learning. Even with the game, like Mac has said, I cheated in that game real hard because I just matched up the different cuts that were angled, not actually the syllabus, which is pretty bad. So that didn't work for me. But he allowed me to realise. He realised that writing down, look, cover, write, check is a better way for me to learn, and just practising for me. The more writing I do, which is unlike a lot of people, which can do, puzzle games and mind maps, didn't work for me. But he understood that, and I think he understands the different ways people need to learn.
Yeah, he also makes time for you. I've seen him a few times after school, dragged on after class. Yeah, top bloke for doing that.
Treat us like we're normal people, like we're equals, not lessers, just because we're students. It makes us, makes it a lot more.
Exam structures is always good for strategies and stuff, and before exams, doing the spot tests. I always found those helpful.
I'm a fan of the spot tests.
Yeah, they're good. Going over exams, that's always good. I don't know if positives. I feel like Mr. Tan is just a good guy. He gets on with all the students really well. Yeah, so it's about connection with the students.
Yeah, definitely. Which I think that's probably pretty good for motivation. I think.
Yeah, it helps people get motivated. Even though now coming to the end of year 12, people aren't as motivated.
Yeah, that's just year 12 fatigue. I think.
Yeah.
Sam here. How are we? Looking good, mate.
You got to go with simple
Simple,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Simple, isn't it?
And just
Yeah.
It's always trying to motivate all students in the class.
Yeah, no, I think motivation's pretty good from Sir. Keeps us going, and it helps. It really helps when he's if you go through the syllabus throughout the year, it helps a lot.
Yeah. So.
Mr. Tan got me working at Channel 7, which was really interesting. Unlike, no other teachers have ever done that, obviously, for me before. So that was really interesting, and that was really good because that's what I wanted to do. And his connections with some guy high up in Channel 7. His contact with him allowed me to work there for 2 days, and that was really enjoyable working there for 2 days. And not only did I learn heaps, I also had a really fun time. So hopefully I'll be doing that again. At least I want to. Barry's. Anything else?
That's about it, eh?
One of the things that he's got that no other teacher really has is just the fact that his connections, they span to every industry.
Yeah.
And
he knows everything.
After we finish, if we want to get into a certain industry and we have no connections at all, we could always just send him an email or something, or just catch up with him, and he'll hook us up pretty much.
Yeah, and I think that the best teachers are the ones that relate to you, and it's not just they can empathise with you, and I think
he made us, big booklets to study with, and just he's helped us understand the syllabus. He's got us downloading an app which really helps with our study, and just a really good bloke.
Yeah. I can say something. The red words, the bottom of the syllabus, when we write them, that is gold. No other class has that, and it really helps because we don't have to learn the definitions. We can just regurgitate those words.
Yeah, under the keywords. Yeah.
So yeah, that's really helped, and also the booklet is gold because no other class has that, and so you've really put an effort.
I think I'll help you in here. Thanks. Yeah. I've known Mr. Tan. I'll call him Sir for about since year 8, so about a couple of years now. I'm in year 12 now. But he's a top bloke actually. He breaks everything down. He's just really down to earth with the boys, especially very lenient. As the boys have said, he's very lenient with your work, and his teaching plan's very lenient. So if a boy's not understanding it the certain way that he teaches, so through reading, he changes it. So we watch videos for the last term, and we took notes off the videos, and we've also done book work. So we're adapting and changing in order to find the best technique for ourselves, learning technique, which I feel is very helpful because then now we've figured out how to do it the most effectively. And also, the way he gives us all the content and the stuff needed just gives us no excuses to whine and complain because we've got it all with us. He's given us a 200-page book covered, it's that thick. But so that he just covers everything needed in a way. So especially as he's very he's actually concerned about the boys if there's issues, he knows stuff's going on, and he's very lenient, for sure. So he helps all of us out, definitely. One of the best teachers around.
What are some interesting things, boys?
He also makes time for the boys. I've seen him multiple times after school at lunchtime, and he doesn't have to, so that's really
and
good.
He's passionate about what he does. He's not one of those drones.
As I said before, what are some of the fun moments we've had with Mr. Tan?
He's a very easygoing guy. He's easy to access, so he can help you. He knows what he's talking about. He knows the syllabus quite well, and he uses very good examples and has a very good knowledge about the business world.
You guys.
But look, there's no key funny moment with Mr. Tan, Chris Tan.
Every day it's coming.
He's banter, he's happiness all the time.
Even the examples. What was the example that?
Condom ad.
Is it, that's one of them.
He just relates to us. He knows what we're thinking about. So we were talking about what's in a McDonald's burger and what's in the meat, and he actually showed us a video relevant to operations? Yeah. He showed us a video relevant to operations. No, but it's relevant.
Sausages. We did sausages.
Sausages.
Oh, that's right.
But it was relevant to operations, so we could actually get stuff from the real world that we actually understand and talk about, and adapt it and put it into our business work, which makes it way easier to learn. So
Shot Mr. Tan.
Yeah,
he also teaches us about real life things as well.
I found he was good as a boarding tutor because he wasn't just a tutor, but he was also a friend in the house. You could go to for any advice, and he was always up for a bit of fun, whether it was playing pool or playing golf or anything. And you could connect to him easily on any levels, just like with one of your normal mates.
He's been my teacher the whole time throughout Year 9, Year 10, Year 11, Year 12, so I've had him for quite a while now. And he's been really supportive teacher. He's got my parents to come talk to them how I can improve things, and it's definitely improved my business studies progress in work, and I've improved my results in some cases. Yeah, like he's very confident in the way he talks, and he always finds something like interesting and like worthwhile to do in class.
Mr. Tan's a good bloke. He goes out of his time in the holidays to take all the snow sports boys on the tour up and down to the snow, which is pretty far, which is 6 hours from Sydney, and he stays with us in Jindabyne. So yeah, he's a good bloke. He takes care of the boys. He takes photos of the boys when they're snowboarding and skiing, and he helped me out a couple of times with some money. And he's just he goes out of his time to do stuff. He goes beyond what is expected from a teacher at the college. And yeah, he's just overall good bloke. I mean, not many teachers go out of their way to take students to the snow, you know, go skiing and go up and down to the snow every day. So yeah, I mean, I know you might think it's an easy job, but it's not when you want to go away from your family and, you know, hang out with a bunch of boys who muck up and within the holidays for 2 weeks every year.
Mr. Tan's taught me for about three and a half years. Always enjoyed his class. I felt that he was really good at explaining things to the boys. He also brings in a lot of fun into the classroom. Like, he'll come up with his little games or something to get us engaged. The boys really appreciated it. Always organised and always keen and nice, good bloke.
Mr. Tan's a general good bloke because he just knows what he's talking about. He's helped me understand golf. He likes photography, which is pretty cool. And yeah, he's just an all-round good bloke.
Yeah, Mr. Tan's been like a good teacher. He's always like consistent in his feedback and stuff whenever you go up to him and ask a question. Like me personally, I have like exam phobia, so like whenever I go up to him, he like helps me out, gives me strategies, like work me through it and stuff.
Yeah, well, I reckon I think the use of keywords has been pretty consistent, I think, which does make it really easy to remember the syllabus.
Yeah.
I think also the use of case studies such as Apple have been really pretty good.
Yeah.
In that he will explain the syllabus points through case studies. So I think that's been pretty effective.
He understands how boys struggle with different things. He can help. He's able to help you out whenever you can, whenever you're struggling with something. And he understands Year 11 boys or teenage boys better than a lot of other teachers.
Life lessons.
Not relevant, but like relevant to work, and like his past experiences have really helped us and guided us to what we actually want to do in our life.
Yeah, he cared about our futures as well.
Yeah,
and not just the syllabus. Like, we just wrote our futures on the board, and he'll email us them in a few years, hopefully.
Yeah, and he's a very hands-on teacher, I found. Like, you know, he's always sending out emails, making sure everyone's alright, as Hein said, making sure no one's behind, and just moulding the subject around to fit the boys, I think.
Yeah, any school would be lucky to have him for sure.
Yeah.
He's a character. He also gets stuff done with the golf programs moving up, photography. Like, he's not just one of those drone teachers that just stick on their subject and get bore themselves to sleep every night. Like, he gets stuff done and he changes it around. And like, yeah, he doesn't even he teaches more than business. Like, he's a great bloke. Yeah, he's just a top bloke.
This should be called Life of Mr. Tan 101.
What?
Yeah, he's good egg. He's got a
the positives.
Wide range of abilities.
He always emphasises his points.
Yeah, I find him good teacher, really accessible, good bloke, and I hate business, but he's kind of made it, you know,
he's made it
semi-bearable.
Yeah, Mr. Tan always stresses the time, which has obviously helped. It's good. I'm pretty bad with time in trials. I only finished one exam, and business was not one of them. So,
pretty good as a commerce teacher because he could always keep us motivated, whether it was using new resources or old ones or different ways of teaching, and he could always find ways to connect it to all the guys, whether it was using different examples, say if you're interested in a sport or a certain business or technology or whatever.
So basically we started doing photography with Mr. Tan in year 10.
Yeah, I started in year 10.
And then we finished in year 12, and yeah, photography was so much fun, just everything about it, like Sir's confident approach he has towards teaching and his ways he can relate to us through like creative like tasks which we find we enjoy and it's fun.
I think he's also been good at motivating us in photography as well. You know, at times we'd be sort of sitting around not doing much, and he'd motivate us to get out there and just take photos and you know, see, you know.
And like I did my major work as photography, and I reckon Mr. Tan's like teaching of me how to become a good photographer has really helped me with my major work and how well it's progressed.
And also the things he's set up in the program, you know, Camps Week, both Camps Weeks I've been on have been awesome.
Yeah, you just got better and better pretty much.
Been with professional photographers, been to professional studios, you know, seen what the real deal photography is.
Cool. Mr. Tan's been very accessible with helping me out. I could send in any response and it would be marked within a day, and we could go over the feedback and it would be very helpful. I could send an email and we could meet up for extra sessions within an hour. I would get a reply, and sometimes within 5 minutes we would already meet up and be talking about what to do in extended responses. And
he's a top bloke. He makes the class real simple. It's easy to understand.
He's very
organised.
organised.
Good bloke.
Yeah, my boys have a variety of different learning styles, and Mr. Tan, you know, allows for, you know, every boy's kind of different learning style, visual, whether you rote learn or things like that, which has been really beneficial. So for the class, he's allowed for that and taught us in different ways, which is good.
Yeah, so he's, as everyone else was saying, it's really interesting, the class, he's made it really interesting, and enjoyable, and we've had a lot of good discussions both with business studies and not part of business studies, which have been really good and helpful, I suppose, you know, other areas too, and yeah, it's just been a lot of like great memories and things have happened in business studies, and it's been a really good 2 years. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Been an interesting 2 years.
You should go. Know your syllabus.
They've gone pretty quickly.
I'm from Royal House. I had Mr. Tan there for a while as a master on duty. He used to come and he'd be one of the staff supervising us, and he'd often help out with like homework and duties and stuff like that. He kind of made a much more relaxing environment. He was really good when he was in the boarding house. He knew how to talk to the boys, you know, on the right level.
Yeah, well, I had Mr. Tan from year 8, because I'm down in Kirkland, and yeah, he was there when I was 14 years of age, and he really helped me sort of get through a few barriers that I was facing when I was a bit younger. He'd always help me with my work. He helped me with my sport. He was my rugby coach for a few games in the 14s, and he helped me, move up a few teams as well. So he's really helped me as a person develop.
Yeah, he knows how to communicate well with the boys, like especially the boys, and be on the right level. When being a boarding school, some of the younger guys often find homesickness pretty tough, and he was always the man to go to whenever the younger boys found it a bit tough. And then he's also, he's so involved here at the school at the moment anyway. With all these different projects and in the business and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, no, he really helps out a lot of things. He's in pretty much every area of the school. Like, he's always helping out with sport and business studies, and he's also very creative with his photography and that sort of stuff. So yeah, no, he's a great man. He's done a lot for the school.